You've probably seen this happen 100 times. You walk through the front door, maybe you've only been gone for 20 minutes, just a quick run to the grocery store, and your dog loses it. The spinning, the whimpering, the full body wiggle that starts somewhere around the tail and takes over their entire being. They jump, they press into your legs, they look up at you with those eyes like you just came back from the edge of the world. And somewhere in that moment, you've probably wondered, is this really what I think it is? Is my dog actually feeling something deep for me? Or is this just habit, just conditioning, just an animal doing what animals do? I'm here to tell you that the science has an answer, and it is so much more beautiful than most people realize. Hi, I'm Sarah, a dog behavior specialist and the heart behind Paw Stories. I've spent years studying what dogs feel, why they act the way they do, and how the bond between dogs and their humans can be one of the most profound relationships in life. My goal is to help you truly understand what's going on in your dog's mind and heart, so you can respond in ways that make them feel seen, safe, and deeply loved. And today, what I want to share with you genuinely changed how I see every single dog I've ever worked with. Because once you understand what's actually happening inside your dog during these moments, the greeting, the gaze, the constant following, the way they press against you at night, you will never look at them the same way again. If understanding what your dog truly feels fascinates you as much as it fascinates me, subscribe and hit that like button. It helps me reach more dog lovers who want to go deeper into this beautiful bond. What your dog is actually feeling. Let's start with that greeting. What you're watching when your dog rushes to the door isn't simply excitement. In dog social groups, reunions are not casual, they are rituals, reaffirmations of belonging. When your dog spins and vocalizes and presses into you, they are reestablishing the most important thing in their emotional world, that you are still here, still theirs, and that the group is whole again. But here's what really moves me. In 2015, a researcher named Takafumi Kikusui and his team at Azabu University in Japan published a study in the journal Science that stopped the scientific community in its tracks. They measured oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same chemical that surges between a mother and her newborn, in both dogs and their owners during sustained mutual eye contact. And what they found was extraordinary. The gaze between a dog and their human triggers an oxytocin feedback loop in both of them. You look at your dog, your oxytocin rises, your dog's oxytocin rises in response, which makes them gaze longer, which raises your levels further. This loop, this chemical conversation happening silently between species, is something that had never been documented between humans and any other animal. Not wolves, not our closest primate relatives, only dogs. After roughly 15,000 years of living alongside us, dogs evolved something that no other creature on Earth developed: the biological capacity to bond with humans through the eyes. Your dog didn't just adapt to live with you, they adapted neurologically to love you. The science behind that look now. Neuroscientist Gregory Burns at Emory University spent years training dogs to lie still in an MRI scanner so he could watch their brains in real time. What he found, documented in his book How Dogs Love Us, was something that fundamentally reframes how we think about dogs. When dogs were presented with the scent of their owner versus the scent of a stranger versus the scent of food, the scent of their owner activated the brain's reward center, the caudate nucleus, more powerfully than food did. Let that settle for a moment. Your smell is your dog's favorite thing in the world, more rewarding to their brain than a treat, more activating than almost anything else in their sensory environment. And this connects directly to why your dog follows you from room to room. I know a lot of owners joke about it. My dog thinks I'll disappear if I close the bathroom door. But there's something genuinely moving underneath that behavior. Dogs have up to 300 million olfactory receptors. Humans have about 6 million. Your dog experiences you as a rich, multi-layered scent landscape, and staying close to that scent is not just affection, it is neurological regulation. Research on the olfactory system in dogs, including work by Alexandra Horowitz at Barnard College's Dog Cognition Lab, has shown that familiar scent actively calms the canine nervous system. When your dog is near you, they are not just choosing you emotionally. Your presence is literally quieting their stress response. What moves me most about this is the implication. You are your dog's safe place in a biological neurochemical sense, not metaphorically. Actually, Then there's the researcher Brian Hare at Duke University's Canine Cognition Center, whose work demonstrated something equally remarkable: that dogs can read human social cues with a sophistication that surpasses even chimpanzees. If you point at something, your dog understands that you mean the direction, not your finger. If your tone of voice shifts, they register it emotionally. Hare's research suggests this capacity isn't learned through training. It appears to be baked into the dog genome through millennia of selective co-evolution. Dogs became, in a very real sense, fluent in human. Here's the first thing I always want dog owners to sit with. This is not a one-way bond. You didn't domesticate a wild animal into dependence. You and dogs co-created each other. They shaped their nervous systems around you, and that is ancient, and it is real. When this becomes a problem now, and this is important, I want to talk about something that I think every dog owner needs to understand, because the same behaviors that express profound love can sometimes be telling you something else entirely. Here's the distinction I always come back to in my work: intensity and context. A dog who greets you with wild joy and then settles within 5 or 10 minutes, that's a secure, well-bonded dog expressing normal affiliative behavior. A dog who follows you through the house but can nap comfortably in another room while you work, healthy attachment. A dog who sleeps pressed against you because physical contact lowers their cortisol and helps them rest deeply, that's not dependency, that's trust. But here's what tells me something important is happening. If your dog cannot calm down after you arrive home, still panting, still pacing 20 minutes later, that's the first pattern I'd watch. If following you from room to room is accompanied by trembling, whining, or an inability to settle even when you're sitting still, pay attention to that. If your dog shows signs of distress before you even leave, the moment you pick up your keys, the moment you put on your shoes, and you've had reports from neighbors of hours of barking or howling while you're gone, that is not just love. That is anxiety. Real, physiological anxiety that is causing your dog suffering. Research published in Applied Animal Behavior Science estimates that somewhere between 17 and 20% of dogs experience clinically significant separation anxiety. And the reason I want to be clear about this is that separation anxiety is not a character flaw. It's not spoiling, and it is absolutely not your dog being dramatic. It is a panic response, the equivalent of a person in a full anxiety attack, triggered by the absence of their primary attachment figure. Here's the second pattern to watch for: selective destruction. A dog with separation anxiety doesn't chew randomly. They chew near exits, doors, windows. They destroy objects that carry your scent. They are, in the most heartbreaking way, trying to find you. And the third thing I see that is always worth taking seriously is any sudden change in how your dog relates to you. A dog who used to seek contact and now withdraws. A dog who used to greet you with energy and now seems flat or distant. A dog who seems more clingy than usual and also less themselves in other ways. Eating less, sleeping differently, less interested in play. Sudden behavioral shifts are almost always communication. And the first stop should always be your veterinarian, because pain and illness can look exactly like emotional distress, and the two are not mutually exclusive. What this moment really means. So what do you do with all of this? How do you meet your dog where they actually are? In a way that makes sense to their nervous system, their evolutionary history, their emotional reality. Here's what I've come to understand after years of this work. The most powerful thing you can offer your dog is not just presence, it is attuned presence. And that starts with understanding how they actually communicate. Start with the gaze. Practice what I'd call intentional soft eye contact, looking at your dog with a relaxed expression, blinking slowly. This is not a staring contest, it's an invitation. That slow blink is a signal dogs recognize as safe and affiliative. You are, in a very real sense, speaking their language, and you're also triggering that oxytocin loop for both of you. It costs you nothing and gives your dog something biological. Touch matters enormously too. But how you touch matters. Long, slow strokes along the side of the neck, behind the ears, across the chest, activate the parasympathetic nervous system in dogs. It is calming in a measurable physiological way. Research by Kirsten Uvnes Moberg on touch and the autonomic nervous system in animals confirms that rhythmic, gentle pressure reduces cortisol and promotes relaxation. When you stroke your dog with intention and calm, you're not just being affectionate, you're co-regulating their entire stress response. For greetings, I know this one feels counterintuitive, but greeting your dog calmly when you come home, not ignoring them, but not matching their frenetic energy either, actually helps their nervous system settle faster. You can acknowledge them warmly and quietly, let them come to you, wait for the wiggling to dial down, then give them full attention. What you're teaching their nervous system is arrivals are safe. Nothing is wrong. Everything is okay. That lesson, repeated over time, builds the kind of secure attachment that makes for a genuinely happy dog. And please, let your dog sniff on walks. I can't say this enough. That sniffing isn't wasted time. It is the primary way dogs process their environment, regulate emotion, and engage the parts of their brain that reduce anxiety. A 20-minute sniff walk is neurologically more enriching than a 40-minute fast walk on a short leash. It is, for your dog, something close to what reading a fascinating book might be for you. Now, if any of what I described in that earlier section resonated, if you're recognizing real separation anxiety, compulsive behaviors, or a level of distress that isn't responding to the things I've described, please reach out to a veterinary behaviorist, not just a trainer. A veterinary behaviorist is a licensed professional who can assess whether there is a medical component, whether behavioral intervention alone is sufficient, or whether your dog would benefit from additional support. Asking for that help is not a failure. It is the most loving, clear-eyed thing you can do for an animal who cannot tell you in words that they're struggling. Now you know what's really going on inside that beautiful, loyal heart. That greeting at the door is 15,000 years of coevolution expressing itself. That gaze that holds yours a moment longer than it needs to is an oxytocin loop that your dog's nervous system evolved specifically to have with you. That shadow following you from room to room is your scent regulating their stress response in real time. And that body pressed against yours at night is an animal who has organized their entire emotional world around your presence. This is not just a dog. This is one of the most extraordinary interspecies bonds in the natural world, and you are right in the middle of it. Share this with someone who loves their dog as much as you love yours. Subscribe to Paw Stories for more of this, because every dog deserves an owner who truly understands them. And leave a comment below. Tell me your story. Tell me what your dog does that you've always wondered about. Tell me about the greeting, the gaze, the way they find you in the middle of the night. I read every single one, and every story matters to me.